It's Dennis with Reonac Energy Systems. I'm just over here at Quad Logistix in Brampton. We've recently completed 2 buildings that are actually Great West Life buildings, retrofitted and upgraded to our Think induction product from Metal Halides. I'm actually here with William Messina, who's the Dyson service manager. Dyson vacuums, fans, does a lot of their warehousing and refurb service here out of this location. And as a matter of fact, William runs the area where there's a lot of meticulous work done on taking apart and diagnosing the great Dyson products. Thanks for joining us today.
You're welcome.
Basically, we've had the lights in for about a year now, and you were working in the same application with the old metal halide lights compared to our new Think lights. How do you like the lights?
I think the Think lighting has really helped us in terms of giving our technicians a lot better visibility. And of course, the other thing I really like about the Think lighting is it gives a different, a better light in terms of almost like daylight being outside. And of course, what's really helped as well is the fact that they've been dropped from the upper level in terms of being up at the roof. They've been dropped about 6 or 7 feet,
yep,
which brings the lighting further down to their work areas. Great improvement from the older lighting.
Yeah, and that's a very good point. We often get comments that the light is a lot less eye straining because it's white and it's natural light like outside,
right,
which is the human eye is designed for. But in part of your warehouse, we're at 28 feet to the bottom of the light, and we have lights throughout the whole warehouse like that. In the area where you guys are doing the repair in the cage area, we've actually been able to drop the lights down by 8 feet to increase the visual acuity for the work area. What's unique about that is if we did that with the old metal halides, you would have tremendous eye glare,
okay,
off them. Plus the other ones ran at 800 degrees. These ones don't have any heat, so it's safe for your people.
Excellent.
Have you had any comments from staff or people? There's about 20 of you work out in that area, I guess.
I've had when the transition occurred with the Think lighting, immediately I received several comments from our staff in terms of the lighting in itself, the far improvement from the past lighting.
Right away.
Yes.
Oftentimes it takes 2 or 3 days to get used to the new light. Did you find some of the people after a couple days transition, then they started to really like the light the next week or two? Or
not at all. It was immediate. It was
okay,
immediate. As soon as the lights were installed, good positive feedback.
Good. So if you were setting up another facility doing the same thing you do, would you recommend this type?
Oh, most definitely.
Most definitely.
Most definitely.
Good. So
yes,
it's in the upper echelons of quality, kind of like the Dyson product.
Correct.
All right.
Quality's where it's at.
Thank you very much for your time. We appreciate the input.
You're most welcome.
Just here at Quad Logistix with Barton Shakira, who's the CFO and CIO of Quad Logistix in Brampton. Bart was involved in the financial end, obviously, with the lighting retrofit project we did on 2 other facilities. These are both Great West Life or GWL facilities, where we upgraded the lighting from 400 watt metal halide to our Think 200 watt induction. Bart, thanks for spending a few minutes with us. We probably looked at these projects for about 6 months before we went ahead with them, and obviously on the financial end you were involved, and we got some great grants back. We cut your energy by over 57% here in both facilities.
Quite well, yes.
And we've actually just started doing the tally because it's been over a year now you've had your new Think lights up. And we started running back and doing a tally, which we were quite easily to show was the 57% on them.
Right.
And we're going to continue to monitor that. The other thing was the warranty of the lights. You have a 10-year warranty life. How does that impact you guys financially?
Oh, incredibly. Under the old lighting system, we used to spend quite a lot, actually, replacing bulbs, and as they get older, they fade. Mm-hmm. Obviously, so you're replacing bulbs before they were even burned out.
Yep.
So yeah, big difference.
Yeah, you would go through about 5 times the amount of bulbs to one of these fixtures.
Easily.
Also, the ballast on the old ones would go, and that was even more costly.
That's right. That's right.
How do you like the light? How's the feedback been from you?
From the staff that I've talked to, a lot of them find that at the end of the day they're not as tired. Actually, at the end of the day, they find they still have quite a bit of energy in themselves. It's a much more natural light. I find as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot easier, especially if you're looking up into the
Yep.
racks. You don't have to clear.
Yeah, so forklift drivers or people who do production, very good point. It's the light that the human eye was designed to work in. It's very uniform, so the retina is at rest all day long, and that's why at the end of the day you're not getting that fatigue or strain. You don't have the eye glare. Number one. Number two, your retina hasn't been doing this all day long, so that's a very good point, Eddie's. Our payback on this project for both facilities was less than 2 years. That means you're getting a 50% guaranteed rate of return on your investment every year for the next 10 years, guaranteed.
Yeah,
Unless your energy prices go up, then you're getting an even better return.
that's right.
So when, as a CFO, probably not every day you see that type of project.
No, that's for sure. Definitely.
So you have a win financially, you have a win environmentally, you have a win with light quality wise. Probably a lot of business owners or CFOs go, hold on, this is too good to be true. It probably is. But from someone who's lived it,
Yeah.
what can you say to that?
I'd highly recommend this lighting. It's a win-win no matter which way you go through it. Usually with green technology, you may gain in the technology, but you lose in the cost savings. This definitely wasn't the case.
So the Think induction lighting performed pretty much how we said it would and what you expected.
Yeah, very much so.
On the overall process of things, dealing with Reonac Energy Systems and Think, from the sales process, we were involved with presenting everything, getting you the government grants. Would you say it was kind of a turnkey process for you? We even did the install?
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so. It was very fluid from start to finish.
Good. Is that something you guys look for in a project?
Very much so. I mean, the last thing you want is somebody coming in with a big idea and then you having to micromanage it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Reonac actually came through start to finish and just made the whole process flow.
Yeah, and we're still here 2 years later making sure everything's going good.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you very much for your time. We got to say thanks for your business as well. Is there anything that sticks out? Anything you wanted to say on here or about this?
I think surprisingly, I mean, it's great to see stuff done in studies. You know, you can always justify it. It's quite something else when you see it actually come together in practical use.
Practical. So out of the other technologies that you looked at, if you had to do another plant, say you had 2 other plants to do, or you were building a new facility, would you say this is the Think product is what you would go with again?
Well, by far and away, yeah.
By far and away. Okay. And on a satisfaction level, from a controller's perspective, on the financial end, on a 1 to 100%, where do you guys sit on that now that you've seen the results on things?
I'd say full 100% for sure. Yeah.
Wow.
Easy.
Thank you very much. Good. Hi, it's Dennis Devey with Reonac Energy and Think Green Solutions. I'm here with Nick Cianci, the president and owner of Quad Logistix in Brampton. We've recently retrofitted 2 of Nick's facilities with our Think induction lighting product. Nick, you were involved from the beginning of the process to look at changing out your lights. Now it's been over a year your new lights have been in place. As for our viewers or potential customers at home, we wanted to kind of get your feedback on what you thought of the entire sales process with Reonac, from the government grants to the install to the quality of light. Did you get everything you wanted, and how do you like the lights you have?
Well, I mean, it is a process that you have to go through, no doubt about that. It's a bit somewhat time consuming, and you really don't understand all the factors when you get into it. But as you get a bit more educated as you go along, and you're seeing what the product provides. I mean, my purpose is really, how do I improve my services? How do I improve the work environment?
Mm-hmm.
How do I put all the tools out there to make things happen? And this was one component, is how do you become, how do you reduce your carbon footprint? I mean, that's also important from a business perspective. Customers are asking more and more, what are you doing for the environment? How are you handling our products, and what type of environment are you handling our products? Things of that nature, which sort of drew me to this particular product. So having it in there for a year, I've gotten many comments from clients walking through, seem quite impressed. with the warehouse facility itself, and the lighting is a big portion of that. It's a big. As soon as you come in, you can see the product, or you don't see the product, or so the lighting has a big effect on impressing a potential client when they come in. And then when you start getting into your recycling programs, how you're saving your like I said, how you're reducing your carbon footprint and so on, it just makes for a better presentation, a better sales pitch, and I think it's received quite well. It's been received quite well.
One of the things we face challenges is actually going in to talk to customers, and an owner or a CFO will look at this and say, well, this is kind of too good to be true. If this was real, I would have done it 5 years ago. It's not often, you can probably attest to, where you'll get a project that makes sense environmentally, reducing your carbon footprint, gives you a very good ROI, in your case less than 2 years, so financially it makes sense, but also quality of light. It's kind of a win-win-win. If you had to do another facility, or you were starting another facility, would you think you'd be going with the Think induction lighting again?
Well, as you know, we've already done a second facility, so it seems to be working well for us. And I've got a few other facilities that, as we go down this road, I mean, obviously we'd be looking at retrofitting with induction lighting. It works well for us.
Any advice to a building owner or business owner who's looking at doing lighting changeouts?
It's good for business. It's good for business. The sooner you do it, you better. It does improve your bottom line, no doubt. But I tell you, it does improve your or perception of your company from the outside. How you conduct business and what you deem to be important in running a business. And they take all that to heart and making their consideration whether or not you're going to be their business partner.
Well, one other thing before we go, I just wanted to say congratulations. Between the two projects that you have done, you've achieved over 300,000 pounds of CO2 emission reduction equivalent. You've done that by saving over 250,000 kilowatt hours a year in energy savings.
Oh, excellent.
So how that equates to the average person is you've basically, it's the equivalent of Quad going out and planting about 6,000 trees a year between the two facilities.
Beautiful. So I could use a few trees in my backyard.
You've done your part there, that's for sure.
That's good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.